somebody that came against you and defended somebody else against you got humbled massively. Okay? Basically, what you're dealing with this energy of there is an aggressor, a main aggressor. There is you, the survivor. We're not even going to call you the victim because you have survived this experience. The aggressor attacked you, and you were this aggressor's victim, but you are now the survivor, okay? And there is also another energy of an accomplice, a flying monkey, one that was defending this aggressor, okay? So what happened is that this aggressor had it out for you since the first time they saw you, okay? Now, whether this is in a workplace, whether this was in some type of, like in a school or an organization, or if this was like in the neighborhood, or even if this is family, okay? Or if this is some sort of friend group. But basically, this aggressor, from the moment that they laid eyes on you, they felt immediately threatened by you. And all you were doing was just merely existing, just going on about your merry way. It's like, it's giving the energy of you were just in your own lane, minding your own business, and not even knowing that this person was watching you or had seen you. But this person had seen you. They spotted you out in amongst the crowd, and it's like they laser focused in on you, like they zero laser focused in on you like a missile. And I'm not sure if that's the expression, but basically they saw you, and it's just the energy that you exuded was threatening to them, because you have this bright light about you that you glow, you just shine, even when you're just doing your day-to-day things. Like, this person could have spotted you like in a school library or like a library on campus. This person, confirmation bird. Ooh, come on. There we go. Excuse me. This person could have spotted you in your neighborhood. Like, let's say you were just sitting outside your home on your front porch, or you were walking around the neighborhood, just walking up the block, and this person spotted you. Or let's say this was you at work and you're just at your desk, or you're, maybe if you don't work like a desk job, like you're just in your own lane, doing your own thing, doing your job, what you're supposed to be doing, and this person spotted you, and from the moment that they saw you, they just immediately didn't like you. You didn't say two words to this person. You didn't even know this person existed, but they knew that you existed before you knew they existed. And what was this person so threatened about? They saw a light. The demons that they had within them saw a very strong light about you. They saw a very strong spirit, because this person hadn't dealt with their demons. They hadn't conquered their demons. Their demons had really at a point fully consumed them, and they're just this walking vessel full of demons that's just attacking people. So the demons that were inside of them saw you and saw how bright you shined, saw the spirit that you carried, and that demon just instantly hated you, hated your good divine spirit. Okay? And what happened is that because the demons inside that person couldn't stand your light, couldn't stand that divine spirit, those demons had kept coming out to just spiritually attack you. This was spiritual warfare you were going through. And this person would say shady things to you, say mean things to you, or they would spread rumors about you and gossip about you. They would talk about you to other people that you were around, like amongst the group, amongst the crowd. And this person would basically do that he say, she say stuff. This person would basically, just was very manipulative and deceptive. Like, they would go and, put your name in some type of false accusation and say like, oh, this person had said this about you to so-and-so. And it was, okay. Basically what happened is that this person was bringing your name up in the drama, basically accusing you of saying certain things about people that you actually weren't even really saying, just making up all sorts of lies just to turn other people against you. Like, this person worked overtime to destroy you, to destroy your reputation, to destroy your character, to destroy any type of support system that you could potentially have, all because the demons were so bothered by your light, you know. And this person, this aggressor, teamed up with an accomplice. We're going to call them the accomplice. The accomplice, the accomplice and the aggressor, they had the same demons that they were battling. So these demons were tag teaming with each other to come against you. And basically what happened is that this aggressor was basically using the accomplice to do the dirty work so that the aggressor can keep their hands clean. And they were basically, the aggressor was doing some sort of like brown nosing and ass kissing to the accomplice and people pleasing them and just doing whatever they can for them, because the aggressor needed someone to be on their side to do their dirty work. They needed like an accomplice. They needed a sidekick basically, so that way this aggressor can continue to do the nasty things that they want to do to you, but they have someone in their corner backing them up. And what happened is, the odd thing about it is, the accomplice didn't even really like the aggressor, didn't even really care for the aggressor. However, it was only because the accomplice was getting a sadistic satisfaction out of attacking an innocent person, the survivor, you, because the accomplice also had inner demons that did not like your spirit. The accomplice also had some sort of envy towards you, which transformed into jealousy. So the accomplice was another person that was also envious and jealous of you, along with the aggressor. So that's why they both had the same ill feelings towards you. That's why the accomplice was going to work with the aggressor to come against you. But what happened is that the accomplice was doing so much to defend this aggressor here. And it got to a point where you, the survivor, you basically confronted the accomplice for the role that they played in coming against you. And once again, this accomplice was continuing to defend the aggressor, trying to make it seem as if you deserved for all of what had happened to happen to you, making it seem like you deserved to be abused and mistreated and bullied like that. And basically, they just kept defending the aggressor as if the aggressor did no wrong. The aggressor was in the right in every single situation, and how the aggressor was just misunderstood, and basically trying to ignore the fact that the aggressor is actually a very mean, nasty, horrible person. But here's what happened. When you confronted this accomplice, you brought up something that the aggressor did to someone else that the accomplice actually likes and cares about. So when you basically were, saying this aggressor did this to me, and you stood by and watched, you stood by and you let it happen, you stood by and you egged them on and cheered them on to do what they did to me. And the accomplice is like, well, it's not my problem, it's their problem. Like, basically just tried to gaslight the whole situation, and basically kept trying to deflect and act like what they did to you wasn't all that bad. But then you brought up, oh, are you aware that the aggressor did the same thing to these other people that you actually like and care about? Once you told them that is when the accomplice, they had to face a very harsh truth, and they came face to face with reality. They were no longer able to live in their false narrative. They were no longer able to live in this little delusion that they had. They were no longer able to lie to themselves and give this false perspective of what had happened. They finally faced reality, the actual truth and reality of the situation and of who this aggressor really is. And when they found out what the aggressor had did to not only you, but to other people that the accomplice actually likes and cares about, then the accomplice finally looked at the aggressor differently. Finally saw the aggressor for who they are, for a mean, evil, nasty, mean-spirited, wicked, cold-hearted, horrible person. And it's like, it's about time you saw this person for who they were. But did it take all of that for you to see who this person is? But you humbled the fuck out of them. Go to part 2. part two to the fact that you humbled the fuck out of this accomplice that was defending the aggressor that was targeting you and made you out to be their personal victim. Okay, so what happened is you confronted this accomplice on what the aggressor had done to you and what they had also done to other people. And all the while, this accomplice was trying to defend this aggressor, trying to make it seem as if this aggressor was not as bad as you, like, it's not as bad as they actually were. What happened when you brought up the fact that this aggressor had done other nasty things to other people that wasn't just you, that's when you humbled the fuck out of them, because they finally faced the truth and reality of who this aggressor really is. It also made this accomplice feel salty. Like, they felt salty as fuck, because they're like, this entire time that they were defending this aggressor, not because they feel like what the aggressor did was right, but because they just wanted to, the accomplice wanted to have any reason to come against you. The accomplice made it personal to you. And they're sitting up here fighting you tooth and nail about how it's your fault and it's not the aggressor's fault. But then when you brought up, you're like, okay, but what about this situation? Now whose fault is it? Are you going to say it's the innocent person's fault? Or are you finally going to say it's the aggressor's fault? What the accomplice thought in their mind was like, damn, it is the aggressor. The aggressor is just a horrible, mean person. And it's like they felt like they were either oblivious to it, or the fact that they knew that they were oblivious to how, okay, they weren't oblivious to how horrible this person was. They just wanted to make excuses for this person when it came to them going against you. If it was anybody else, they actually cared. But what happened is, like, the accomplice felt saucy as fuck, because they're like, this entire time I've been defending this person, and this is the shit that they've actually been doing. I can't defend this aggressor anymore now that I know what they have actually done. I can't defend them anymore. I'm no longer on their side. And they're feeling salty, because they're like, I spent so much time on their side when they were really this villain the entire time. Because they were so kind to me, says the accomplice, because they were just always there for me and, you know, helped me out, I overlooked the nasty things that they've done and thought they couldn't be all that bad. But now that I'm hearing what they have actually done, I shouldn't have been defending this person as strongly as I was. I shouldn't have been on this person's side, because how exactly can I explain the fact that what they did to this other person that I actually like and care about? How can I actually explain that, yeah, what the aggressor did to them was wrong, but in the same breath, I'm saying that what the aggressor did to you, the survivor, wasn't wrong? So how am I going to, it's like, I feel like I'm contradicting myself at this point. That's why they were salty as fuck, because they realized I'm contradicting myself here. I literally just contradicted the fuck out of myself. I'm saying how, no, the aggressor wasn't wrong, because when it came to you, they're not wrong. But then in the same breath, they're realizing, no, when they did it to them, no, this aggressor is wrong. So at that point, they realized, like, nah, like, I'm being a hypocrite here. I'm really being a fucking hypocrite. I'm really sitting here, like, contradicting the situation. And however, there was pride that got in the way, because the accomplice was just too prideful to admit that you were right all along about this person. That's another reason why this accomplice is so salty, because you tried to warn this accomplice and everybody else about this aggressor, but no one wanted to listen to you. And when you finally had proof and evidence to back up your claim, this accomplice could no longer deny that this aggressor is a mean, horrible person. And also, it's like, they realized that you were telling the truth the entire time, and that you were accurate and right about this aggressor the entire time. So they had to go back and say, you know what? You were right. you were right. And by them saying that you, the survivor, was right about this aggressor, then they have to go back and say, you know what? You were right. I was wrong. I was wrong for defending them. I was wrong for being on their side. I was wrong for coming against you for them because of them. I was wrong for everything that I did to you for this aggressor, because the aggressor was the villain the entire time. The aggressor was the bad guy the entire time. That's what I was trying to say. I fucking hate when I stutter. I'm sorry, because that's a very fucking pet peeve of mine. But anyway, at that point, the accomplice knew that if they were going to have to apologize to you, they were going to have to apologize for everything they did. But they're not ready to admit it. Because this whole entire time, this accomplice was basically trying to say, no, we're not wrong. You're in the wrong. You're the one that has the problem, trying to gaslight the situation. But once the truth was facing them back in the face, and that truth smacked them in the face. And now the accomplice is starting to realize, like, damn, I was wrong. I was wrong. And now they're realizing that they did make it personal about you because they just didn't really like you. They don't like you. They don't care for you. But they realize they're like, basically they're realizing how much of a bitch they really are. Like they're basically having to realize like, wow, like I know I could be a bitch, but no, I was really a bitch. Like I was a bitch to this innocent person that didn't even fucking deserve it. All because I was a little envious of them. All because I was a little jealous of them. And I'm not strong enough to admit that out loud. And I was a bitch to this person when I really shouldn't have been, because the person that I was defending was the biggest bitch out of a whole entire group. But I didn't hurt an innocent person, cause this person a lot of stress that I really can't come back from. I can't go back and change it. But it's like, damn, I caused this person a lot of stress. I caused this person a lot of trauma. And they keep telling me about it. But yet, I'm not strong enough to admit it. I'm too prideful to admit that they were right and I was wrong. So as of right now, this person is having to reprocess everything that went on between all of you in this whole entire ordeal. And as of right now, they're not ready to come forward to you and apologize for everything that has happened. However, I'm feeling in my spirit that this accomplice is going to one day reach out to you and apologize. They're going to find some type of way to reach out to you. Or if you have them blocked and all sorts of things, they're basically going to find a way to contact you. And if they can't get a way to contact you, for some, you're going to run into this person. Or some, they're going to leave like a message with another person, and then the message is going to get to you. But for whatever the case is, this accomplice at some point is going to come to their senses, and they're going to realize how wrong they were for constantly defending this aggressor to come against you, because they now realize who this aggressor really is. And at this point, this accomplice is no longer on this aggressor side. They're no longer defending them. They're no longer sticking up for them. They're no longer trying to retell the narrative and trying to gaslight and trying to deflect on what this aggressor has done. No, they no longer are on this aggressor's side. That aggressor is off on their own. They're like, I can't help you anymore. I helped you for as long as I could, and look what the mess that I done got myself into. I can no longer help you. I'm no longer helping you. You dug this hole. You dug that ditch. You're going to have to either fall in that shit and deal with the repercussions and the consequences of what you have done, or own up to what you've done and fix the situation. But you're not going to come to me to fix your mess. I'm not going to go in here and get caught in the crossfire of your bullshit. Now this aggressor is all alone and has to deal with everything on their own without having this accomplice with them, without having any other extra flying monkeys on their side. This aggressor now has to face the music and face their karma all by theirself. And it's going to get very, very ugly. It's going to get very unpleasant. And when the karma hits this aggressor, they're going to have nobody around to help them through it. Nobody around is going to help them through it. They're going to have to go through that shit all alone by themselves, the same way it was for you. the accomplice is also going to get some karma because they stood in the way and to help this person and defended this person. So they already got karma coming, but they didn't remove their hands from the situation.